This episode of Hold Your Horses is sponsored by local collective Goods and Gifts in historic downtown Sonora, your one-stop shop for goods and gifts highlighting makers of the motherlode. This shop is great. It's one of the best things that has come to downtown Sonora. It's run by a few of our closest friends, Zach and Maddie Broxham, and for our listeners, when you mention Hold Your Horses, they will give you a free hot or iced espresso beverage with your purchase. Thank you, local collective Goods and Gifts in historic downtown Sonora.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you great. Ow! Did you see that?
Did you try to cut firewood again?
Yeah. I tried to cut firewood.
What happened?
I put my hand on the wood and then to steady it.
I guessed it right.
To steady the wood. To steady the wood, right? Because
what have we told you about axes and wood?
Because for all you Pac knows. For all you men out there who cut firewood.
Yeah, Pac lost a finger.
The wood will want to fall over, so you have to steady it.
Yeah.
So with my other hand, I bring the axe over, and I come down on the wood, and then I didn't move my other hand, so I
when the wood moves on you, you know what you say?
Why are you moving, wood?
Yeah, you would.
I knew you would.
No, gentlemen, no. I went out to throw trash away, and there was a bird stuck in the garage. So I freaked out, and then I hit my thumb somehow.
I don't know what story's worse.
I don't either.
And I hope both of them are just lies.
Anyways, it hurts. It hurts
You're just
bad.
pulling our leg.
Morning, guys. This is your cousin, Faith Gerber. I have a couple ideas for the podcast. My first one, I was listening to a book on Audible, Andre Agassi, who's the tennis player, and in it he says, we were nip and tuck the entire match. So that was my first nip and tuck. I know everyone's going to think of that show, which I've never seen, but I'm just so curious as to how it originated as nip and tuck. My second was pet peeve. I know we all know what it means, but I don't know how that started, and people saying, oh, that's my pet peeve. And that's it. Happy New Year. Thanks for your podcast. Love you guys.
All right, well, welcome back, faithful followers of this fine and completely free podcast filled with puns and periodic moments of blissful joy. It's Hold Your Horses, and boy, have we got a wild one that will really whet your whistle and your appetite, if I say so myself. It's really a salivation-inducing son of a gun, if you ask me. No buts about it. So put some giddy up in your step so we can saddle up and get to the bottom of this. Fear not, my fine featherless and flightless friends. We're on the case and we're gonna crack it, if you know what I mean. This one's a doozy. So let me set the stage and set your mind at ease, if I may. This idiom was solicited by our cousin, the wonderful Faith Gerber.
Yeah,
she said she was Faith. Woo, yeah, she was just kicking back, reading a book as educated, learned ones do. She's a pediatric nurse and reads probably books that smart people read. This one in particular was about a famous tennis player, Andre Agassi, the legend, and this little gem popped up, and she said, hey, I wonder what that means. And she did what any sensible person would do. She didn't Google it. She went ahead and hopped on our Instagram page and left us a voicemail. Because if anybody's going to get to the bottom of that idiom, it's these three idiots, right? Am I right, boys? Huh?
The detectives.
You were right.
That's
Yes,
right.
We were right.
You came to the right place, Faith.
So you too, when you come across a little gem like that, a little nugget, if you will, a diamond in the rough, you can leave us a voicemail and we will get right on the case with our nifty new voicemail option, which Travis will explain at some point, because I I still don't understand how it works.
For our faithful and new followers, it's 2023, baby. There's a link.
Boom.
Click on it.
Links.
Figure it out.
That's right.
Talk to us. We
Perfect.
love hearing your voices.
We do, and your mail. So anyway, that's wonderful of her to be one of our first listeners to take advantage of this wonderful option. Completely free, by the way. Actually paid for by our sponsors. Speaking of sponsorships, if you're looking for some serious airtime with hundreds of thousands, at least 10 listeners, this is the spot you're going to want to contact us. We're interested in trades for airtime, cool stuff like camping gear, sweet swag, cars,
solar
houses,
panels.
solar panels.
No, what I tell
Bitcoin.
what I tell people, and a lot of people, well, not Bitcoin because that bubble kind of burst, but what I tell people, especially, we're gonna have to talk about that, Dan. Your investments are, What I tell, especially local people, is that we're a local outfit. We're local boys, and
we are local, homegrown.
Yeah, that's right.
Island
we
boys.
want. Yes,
we the Island
Right.
Boys.
Oh, okay. Thomas, what did I tell you about that? I said not on the show.
If you say Island Boys, I will sing.
I said not on the show. Okay?
I love it.
Save
it's
it for
a great,
another
catchy song.
No, but we want to hear from your company, and we want to tell people what you do, and
we want to support you.
That's right.
Or what you don't do.
Because or what you don't do, what you want to do. Because we know that we are the key to your company's success. We will unleash really the potential that's been dormant. I don't want to give you any false assumptions here. It's not just trades. I mean, we will take bags of cash. That the old-fashioned. We'll do this the old-fashioned way. So give us a holler, leave us a voicemail, and we'll get you out there. More and more people, they'll be banging down your door to buy your product. So the idiom that Faith fell across in this book on tennis was nip and tuck. And so it sounded to me to be a British, right out of the gates. I said, this sounds British. This is British written all over it. And thankfully for you boys, I've got a good friend who's from the island. Not that island, Tom. He's not an island boy.
Not that island boy.
He's an island gentleman.
A northern island gentleman.
A gentleman and a scholar.
Good.
Can you sing it in his? Can he sing it in his voice, in his accent?
Island boy song.
I would
love.
Can he sing it?
I would love. Yeah, maybe see if he's available to do that later on.
Yeah, let me tap him in here, guys. I'd like to introduce to the show, first time ever, Sir Reginald Birtwhistle III. Reginald, take it away.
Third.
All right. Well, top of the morning to you, chaps. Or what we like to say, bottom of the evening in my neck of the woods. Well, right. Let's hit the ground running, shall we? I've got a bit of a Cockney accent and Australian thing mixing here just to keep our listeners Reginald,
before you before you talk to us about this, I had a few questions.
Sure.
Reginald.
Go. Shoot from the hip.
Yeah. Did you grow up in your country, or did you kind of just learn this from
videos,
television, the telly, as they say?
Yeah, right. Well, obviously, I've had to dial down my accent a little bit for you chaps.
Reginald, you're not coming in a little louder, Reginald, please, for a little louder for our listeners.
You Yanks always with a bit of a sense of humor. Anyway, so what I'd like to do with you, gentlemen, is I'd like to take you just back into something you might not be as familiar with, where you boys are from. So you're probably familiar with what you'd call American football, maybe basketball, probably watch it on the weekend or something like that. But out where I come from, the big sport that everybody's into is cricket. The game of the cricket. And,
dastardly little buggers.
I don't want to bore you with all the details. It's,
all those crickets chirping.
Quite a nuanced game. Well, when crickets cry. So anyway, deep in the lore of the English sporting world is where I believe you're going to find the roots of this particular idiom out on the pitch, as we'd like to say. You might call it a field or a big green. Something like that.
Green,
it's a wonderful game, and there's all sorts of sayings that go with it. The baggy grindstone about save all the Yorkers.
I'm sorry, Reginald. What was that?
We broke up a little bit there.
Yeah.
Just lost you for just a minute. I'm about 15 hours ahead, I believe, right now. So a bit jet lagged.
Man of the future.
Anyway, the
Why
point
are you
is, what I'd like you to do is I'd like you to imagine you're in the game right now. You've got Lancashire versus Worcestershire, and it's a back and forth, real tally ho. It's a barn burner, you might say, in the stateside.
Oh.
But here across the pond, we wouldn't say that. We might say it's a dead heat. Or what one might say in a match like this, where it's back and forth, you don't know who's going to win. You might say it's real nip and tuck endeavor. And that's where I'm going to leave it for you boys. I could give you the origin, but from what I've gathered after listening to this podcast several times is that you're the ones attempting to figure it out, ain't you?
Yeah. I'm also trying to figure out where you stashed Dan, because I'd like to chat with him. Is he like tied up in Dan, a closet or something?
Sounds like the blokes here want you back on. So it's nice chat with you boys.
Oh, Reginald.
Thank you, Reginald.
Wow, thanks.
Wait, could you sing
Reggie?
that song real quick?
The Island Boys, the Island Boys, that one.
That one, thank you.
Yeah,
that was amazing.
Wow, Reginald, very good. Can I call you Reggie? Oh, he's gone.
Oh, sorry.
Hey.
Anyways, so Reggie gave us a lot of useless information, really, and actually added to the confusion. I don't think he cleared anything up. No. He said something about cricket and a sport, and then he said nip and tuck, which I'm pretty sure is what Faith did say. A different sport.
Yeah,
but
I think I'm not really sure.
Oh, hey, Dan. Yeah, very good.
I did. I guess I probably didn't prep Reggie.
No, and we have to vet all of our
he just decided
guests.
He's never done something like this.
I don't think I'll ever bring a guest on the show.
Well, if you go back
that's because you don't have
was
friends.
It Brock? I don't.
Well, yeah, Brock.
I feel like
that's a one-timer.
Brock is quite popular with the listeners. Yep.
Not with the ladies, though.
He's trying. He's trying. Yeah.
Well, he's young. And
he's young. Yeah, he's got a lot to learn.
A lot of immaturity.
But Reggie seems very cultured and
well-traveled.
Learned.
I think is probably
learned, if you will.
We may, if we're having trouble with any of these British idioms, we might have to
probably ask him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe you just ask him. And then just
tell us. Relay what he said. Maybe he doesn't have to be
just
on.
ask him.
Yeah,
he doesn't have to. Yeah.
So nip and tuck. What comes to mind because of my addled pop culture brain is that show.
Sure.
I think that was popular in maybe the early 2000s. Nip Tuck, which I think explored the industry of plastic surgery, and it was probably a drama and a bunch of manufactured
documentary,
emotional, or exactly. And so that's what comes up in my mind. Yep. I'm trying to, as they say, suss it out in my brain and figure out nip and then tuck and then all that, and I just kind of get sick. So while I figure that out, I'm gonna let Tom take this one, and maybe words will flow out of his head.
Probably not.
Yeah. Out of the mouth part of his head, ideally.
Nip and tuck is what came to my mind. I remember seeing the previews. I think I watched maybe one, and it makes sense. Nip a little here, tuck a little there.
Snip, snap.
You know,
and 20 years younger. Yeah.
But if it's going into the sports arena, I'm thinking more of. I'm picturing somersaults. Tuck and roll comes to mind.
Okay. Yeah.
Things kind of
just. I think they would say.
Tuck and nip.
You know what Reggie might say
when
about this
doing
shed?
A tight somersault.
It's a little nippy in here.
Right. Yeah. So yeah, I don't. And then maybe something nipping at your toes. It's quick.
Yeah.
You're light
Jack
on your
Frost.
Light on your feet. Yeah, kind of how our feet are right now in the shed.
Nipping at your
little
toes.
Nippy, nip and tuck. I could see it maybe using gymnastics. Do the old nip tuck move. Quick, light on your feet. A nice tuck and roll. landing.
Nimble.
Nimble.
Yeah.
Jack be nimble. And
Nimble,
Jack be
not-
tuck.
Thimble? A thimbleful?
I mean, I've never heard it in a sports analogy. I just assumed it was a surgeon saying, all right, let's do some nip tuck here and get that fat out, stretch some skin here, roll a little there.
Take a little from
there.
here, put a little
Yeah.
there.
Tuck a little here.
Stapler, please.
Pick a
We're a
little,
nip
pick a
tuck.
little. Yep.
Yeah.
Pickle.
So that's, I don't know.
Well, so Faith said it in reference to the famous tennis player, and I'm trying, and I think it was in the context of like the match was very close.
Yep.
Like
Yeah, it's
back and forth.
undecided. You
back
can't-
and forth.
can't
So
make a
One's
call.
nipping, the other's tucking. It's nip.
Are they
tuck,
names?
Nip tuck.
is Nip and Tuck, were they the original players?
The old famous tennis match. Jennifer Nip.
Nope. Nope.
I think it was Nip Van Winkle.
Nip Van
And then-
Winkle
and then-
Tuck Everlasting.
Yeah, exactly.
Tuck
Yeah.
Finn, I think.
Tuck Finn. Yeah.
Right.
He says, "Mother, would you tuck me in?"
Okay.
Like tuck in.
Got it.
Can you tuck in? I don't know. I think that we should phone a friend or consult Google on this one. Nip and tuck. Does Reggie or Dan have any ideas?
I mean,
So if the surgical TV show was accurate, and they
Yes.
just straight up were like, yeah, it's literally from a surgical term, but it seems like it's older. Like
Oh yeah.
plastic surgery is pretty
Yeah,
new.
very
I
new.
think.
Quite a new phenomenon.
But I know don't they say when they take a little drink, like just take a little nip,
yep. Warm the soul. I used to
warm
do
the
that.
soul with a little nip of hot toddy.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
So just a little nip,
Little
and then
nip,
you
and then
tuck, and then you tuck it
tuck
away
it in
in
your
their
jacket.
Or a little drunkie on
your
the
little,
street.
your little bottle, your flask.
Oh, a
Just-
little Tennessee James, as they say.
They do.
It's a bit nipply. That's okay.
Uh-huh.
That's getting somewhere, but I don't know if that's
Yeah.
where we want to be.
So the nip and tuck, if he nips a little and then tucks it away, it's like you're not really sure where he's going with that. Nip is probably short for snip, right?
Oh, okay, yeah. Just drop that
Snip,
S.
the old snip and tuck. Maybe it's a haircutting term.
Yeah.
Hey, how would you like, high and tight?
Yep.
Just kind of nip and tuck it.
Mm-hmm.
So
Like fold the hair, my mullet kind of folded underneath.
snip around the ears and then just kind of tuck it
Just tuck it,
nice and
tuck
tight.
it in, and that way, if I don't like it, I can pull it back out.
Right.
Or if you have a lovely hold your horses hoodie, you'll just pull that hood right over and
Yeah.
no one's
tuck
gonna
it-
see
tuck
it.
it under
all
there
tucked
real
in.
good.
Well, can I just jump ahead here and thank Faith for really stumping the
chumps.
mostly efficient detectives, and
Sure.
I'm at a loss for this, but
I mean, you guys have
Nope.
never heard this in a
oh no
ever, right? Like,
no
I've never heard anyone say, "Oh, we just nip and tucked."
No, and I'd love to have conversations with very, 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 very old people who I would imagine would say something like this, but I just don't. I don't talk to them
Oh,
I feel
because
like
I don't know them. But
right.
You know when people say, and I feel like it's the older crowd. It was a bit touch and go.
Mm.
do they have that little? It was a bit
touch
it was a
and
bit
go.
touch and go.
Well, not really.
Really? It's a bit shotty.
What'd you say over there, Tumnus?
That was Lucy.
So can I enlighten all of us?
Did you find
And
something?
Faith, if you're listening, yeah, I did find something. There's a lot
Just
here.
go in there. None of us. Our guesses are surgery.
Yeah.
I don't
And
have
the
a
drunk.
confident. I'm not going to win this
Well,
round, guys.
I'll go a sports term more. Gymnastics, wrestling, something where you're
Here's a thought.
tucking and nipping.
Gymnastics. When was that established as a people?
That was like
oh,
way
I touched
back.
your foot. I'm sorry.
It's all right.
Was it
Just a
way
little-
back?
Oh, way back. They were doing that was like the
Tumbles.
first games.
Huh? Like the Greek.
Tumbler. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, fair
Yeah.
enough.
No, it's way back.
Okay, way back. So maybe something to do with gymnastics, tucking your body. collapsing
roll.
yourself.
Well, like, when you stand up and you kind of tuck
after
your belly,
Thanksgiving
tuck your belly in a little bit.
Exactly. Anyways, so this, I'll have to do some searching for the origin, but what I've read here from Lovely, and it's not in our verified sources, our book, so it's from the interweb. Nip and tuck, a very close contest. The ultimate source of this phrase has been lost. That's great, but it appears to have originated in 19th century America. An early example is, and I quote, gentlemen, and I quote, it will be like the old bitch and the rabbit. Nip and tuck every jump. 1836. In this context, the bitch is the female dog. So
I got it.
That's your problem. It is used in the same way as neck and neck. Okay, so neck and neck.
It's like a close race.
Like a close race, which I think
the rabbit and the fox.
Neck and neck comes from horses. So it all circles back, gentlemen.
Wow.
But I did see something else here as an origin. Note, one explanation for this expression is that it comes from sword fighting, where a nip is a light touch and a tuck a heavier blow. Another is that it comes from horse racing.
Of course
where it means the same as neck and neck. So I like that. I like the sword fighting. The nip what do you like?
I just like that nip is short for snip, and it has to do with scissors. And when you're cutting with scissors,
haircuts again.
Everything's just right down. It's so close with scissors, right? It's so fine.
Until it's not, then you just tuck the rest.
Yeah, you just fold it over and you tuck it and you slide it under your desk.
All right,
the teacher's like, Billy, we're going to do cutouts today, and you're kind of doing good, but then you get a little off. So at first it's real snip. It's real nice. Yeah. And then you make a bad cut. You just tuck it under your desk. And she goes, how'd it go, Billy? Oh, I never got paper.
Is this also in the UK? Is little Billy, I never got paper.
I need another one, Miss Shenanigans.
All right, so we'll add that to the Wikipedia. We'll add that whole story about Billy and scissors. Yeah, okay, great.
Well, Hold Your Horses has an entirely separate Wikipedia page.
We should.
Yes, we're rewriting all the definitions.
Hold Your Horse-idea.
Very good, Faith. Well, thank you.
Thank you, Faith. Faith also brought two up, which, I mean, wow, kudos to her. The
old, to even think of two is impressive.
Two birds with one stone.
And what right? Yeah, before you bring up that second one, what I've gathered here is that listening to this show, our listeners, it stimulates the mind. Yeah. They can't help but think of sayings that they've heard. And where are they going to bring those queries, those quandaries, those questions? They're going to bring it to us.
Okay? And we're a safe stimulant.
Oh, yeah.
Out of all those options out there, I definitely turn kids onto this.
We're the upper and the downer.
Yeah. The upper is when you start listening, and the downer is when it's over.
When you keep
listening. When you have to wait for the next...
Right. Well, when it's over. Not... Right.
Is it over yet? Gosh, there's... Yeah. Anyway, so the second idiom that Faith brought up.
Me?
No, I was waiting for Reggie.
Reggie.
He only knows about cricket for some reason.
That's right.
No, he's a cricket expert.
Oh, good.
So, and this one has to do with animals. So
very good.
Animal.
Interesting.
No, you just leave him. Yeah, leave him where he's at. We'll talk about it.
Maybe let him know that it has nothing to do with cricket, though, and all the research was in vain. But.
Here's kind of just a pet peeve of mine when we're doing this show. I go out on a limb. I invite a esteemed colleague of mine. A
colleague now.
A close friend. We go way back. We've done a lot of business together, traveling,
cricket studies. Yeah.
And he, I just feel like when people don't appreciate things that I do, I would say that's a particular pet peeve of mine.
Totally. And you're right. You're right, Dan and Reginald, if you can hear us. That was...
My apologies. We're American, and we just kind of speak our feelings.
Yeah. As they say in Reginald's area, I got a little egg on my face. So we're sorry.
Yeah.
So
he
go
just
ahead.
texted me, and he texted some words that I don't dare repeat here.
Yeah.
But he also says he says thanks.
Okay,
and
good.
Cheers.
Cheers,
Reggie.
mate. Yeah.
So the idiom, which I've actually already given it to you guys. It's pet peeve.
Okay. Good.
Yeah.
Good.
And so I'm not talking about your little pet rabbit that you call Peeve either, am I?
Nope.
No, he's not.
No, I'm not.
No, this is serious.
So this one, I kind of just
hang on.
I remember.
Yep. Go ahead.
Yep. No.
No, hang on.
Well, I just wanted everybody. Maybe we could voice our pet peeves.
Oh.
And I'll start.
Wow.
I'll start.
Yeah.
Okay. Because I brought up the thought, so now I want to let that marinate in your brains. So I'll just start talking, and you can think. And I try not to do this. I'm conscious about this. But when people, and if you do this, that's fine. We all do things that we need to work on. Okay?
Yeah.
Okay? It's a new year, 2023. Let's choose some things to work on.
This is the time.
This is it.
If you're eating a bag of chips or crunchy, dry food, maybe consider closing your lips and just not letting the whole world hear what you're crunching.
Half the enjoyment, though, can be that sound of a good chip.
Yeah,
if
a lot
it's
of studies.
If it's muffled, every
up.
commercial you hear, you're hearing that noise. If you're not hearing it, it's like, what's the point of it?
Okay, that's such an interesting sensation that you would eat chips, salty chips, and part of the enjoyment is hearing the crunch, not tasting
it's
the
a full experience, and I want the dust on my skin, and I want to lick my fingers.
I've never heard of that, so that's new. But and then also, if you're in a library or a quiet place, like I would be mortified to take out a bag of chips, crumple them up, find the best place to open it, and then stuff them in my mouth and chomp for everybody to hear. If you're that person, maybe more power to you. But anyways, that's my little pet.
Has that happened recently?
Peeve. No.
Has it ever happened?
Yeah.
Okay.
Tons of times. Libraries, classes, and I get that we're all hungry, but we're not barbarians. Okay, we've evolved. We're not Lorg just chewing on a saber-toothed tiger bone at the fire. So
good. Yeah. So Trav, I'm just jumping here, reading a scholarly article called "The Science of Crunch," which is basically talking about how we eat with our ears and not just our mouth. Dr. Charles Spence, head of cross-modal research laboratory at the University of Oxford and author of Sense Hacking, Reginald sent me this article. He says that sound is the forgotten sense, and in his field of cognitive neuroscience, sound is acknowledged as playing a role in the overall multi-sensory experience of eating and drinking. In fact, in 2008, he even won the Ig Nobel Prize for his breakthrough sonic chip experiment, in which electronically modifying the sound of a potato chip crunching in the mouth changed the enjoyment and satisfaction levels of those eating it. The louder,
you're just
the
missing
better.
out, Trav. I think maybe
the louder, the
you know
better.
what? You know what I'd like to tell Dr. Charles is come sit here. I've got a nice bag of potato chips that I'd like to eat in front of you.
Good. Excellent.
Tell me the sonic crunch of that.
And you will enjoy it so much more. All right. Good, Trav. Thanks for sharing. Tommy, pet peeves?
Oh, I have so many.
Oh.
I know.
But the only one I can think of...
I grew up with you.
Please don't say it's me.
No, the only one I can think of is just looking me in the eyes right now. No. I hate when I get home and I have to... I take my shoes off, but I don't untie them because I hate untying them. So I kick off the heel.
Good.
And then in the morning, I am so furious at myself that I have to untie.
Wait, so it's a double.
It's a double. I have to untie my shoes that I was too lazy to untie the first time, and then I have to retie them on my feet, which is why most of the time I don't tie my shoes. I hate that process.
Tom comes by,
maybe it's the bending over as I get older, just the age.
It's just on time, big boy.
It's Velcro or something, because shoelaces are just the way of the past.
That kid some boots.
Velcro.
Your old rain boots.
Yep, rain boots. Yep.
That's lovely.
That's
speaking
a good
of our
one.
childhood and growing up with each other and pet peeves.
I remember it all.
Yeah. My one of my biggest, I've never been a huge fan of chewing gum.
Hey, chewing.
The flavor doesn't last long enough for me, and then you're just kind of chewing a piece of waxy rubber. But the big pet peeve is when somebody has inserted this food, gum, into their mouth.
Oop,
it's not a toy, it's food. You find it in the food and candy area.
Wait, but the definition of food, don't you have to digest it?
The salivatory process, Travis. I don't want to go into the details. I obviously lost you on the last article.
Got it.
But your body is breaking your teeth, your saliva, mastication. Sure. These are all terms.
What was that last one?
Mastication.
Exactly.
Oh, chewing. Good. Okay.
Yeah.
So gum.
It's breaking the gum down, as you'll see. What's left is just it's a residue, a discharge, a mass of filth that is covered in your germs.
So would you say? Okay.
No, what I would say is when you have the gum in your mouth, and if you don't want to swallow it, it is an urban legend that you've probably bought into that it takes years to digest gum in your tummy. That's not true. It goes right out the old sweeper.
I swallow gum all the time.
Yeah.
Oh,
so. But if you feel that that's something you don't want to do, you just throw it in the receptacle or the garbage can.
Yep.
But what people in that shack I've been, have seen do many a time is rather than do the swallow or the throwaway, they'll stick it on their plate.
Oh, you
as
don't like that?
everybody's trying to enjoy a meal.
I've learned if they're paper, I've learned to fold it. I've learned to fold it. But
at the meal. I thought you were saying that they just put it under the table, which is a pet peeve of mine.
No,
they
that's
just leave
a pet
it.
peeve, but imagine on the table.
Daniel, may I run a scenario by you? Have you ever seen this happen?
I'm already sick.
Oh, okay. Well, you brought it up, so good for you.
Go ahead.
They're not ugly. They're like pink and blue little dots.
It's food that was in your mouth. I'm going to eat a banana next time I get back.
It's like a little piece
and I'm going to put it back on my plate right next to you.
There's two things, Dan. I've come to realize I hate bananas. I hate them. And then the second thing is, have you ever seen someone sit down to a nice
blue corn moon?
Okay.
Oh, that's good. Have you seen someone, or have you been next to somebody who sat down to a nice dinner? The candles are lit. You push past the drunkards and the
regularly.
Exactly. But your dinner is brought to you. You take the gum out of your mouth, or no, your neighbor.
They take the gum out.
So do they
your mouth.
Have they ever taken the gum out, put it on their plate, eaten their meal, and
put it
then
back in?
take
that's why,
the gum?
That's why we put it there.
That's why they
what
put it there.
What do you mean we?
He's talking about
freak.
Me. This whole pet peeve is what I do. You guys see pieces of Play-Doh around your house all the time. You don't freak out about it.
What? Play-Doh? You eat Play-Doh too?
Do you have kids?
You eat Play-Doh?
Oh my gosh. It's just like a little piece of blue plastic or purple or pink.
Thank you, Travis, for coming over to my team. It's disgusting.
Oh my gosh.
All right. Well, I'm glad we jumped in on that train. If you guys have your particular pet peeves that you'd like to
leave it in
air,
the comments. Yeah.
Send us a voicemail. Leave it in the comments.
Please.
You can air it out.
Endlessly can talk about pet peeves. That is bad. That's my new one. I don't even care about chewing
and if anyone's on my side on this, I'd love to hear from you. Maybe we could be friends.
Yeah.
I know
maybe we could share a piece of gum together.
Prison listening to this.
Dude, I take my kids' gum when they're done chewing it and eat it all the time. I'm just not.
Stop it.
I'm just not that freaked out over it.
No. Are you so
toothbrushes?
Are you so starved
plummeting
for the little bit of mint extract,
There's
are you addicted to that cud?
There's chewed. I don't know. It's just
I've never known that.
It's just
detail.
not a problem.
I'll
I didn't know.
I
actually didn't know it was a problem, and I'm glad. I'll be more mindful of others as I'm setting gum in other people's visions.
Oh, sick. Okay, well,
see
so
what
now
I grew up with,
yep.
Trav? Does this explain anything?
That's pretty rough.
Yeah, he had a rough child.
Not even Lord.
He saw a
himself.
lot of
Not
gum.
even Lord
a
would
lot of chewed gum.
stoop
So
to that
barbaric.
level. So now that we have that out there, I don't know where this would come from.
I don't even know what.
Wait,
Pet peeve.
I don't even know what the trouble is.
What
Yeah.
is peeve? Peeve is that's a word.
It's short
Yeah.
for Peter.
Yeah, peevy.
No, if somebody's peeved,
Yeah.
they're
I'm
like,
so
they're
pissed.
upset, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
I'm
a
peeved
shorthand
off.
or synonymous for
So
yeah.
it's-
like
it's
I'm pissed
upsetting.
off. I'm ticked off. I'm
peeved.
off.
I'm
like
perturbed.
perturbed.
More than perturbed.
Perturbed. And maybe peeved was just easier to say
an
than
abbreviate.
perturbed.
A little abbreviated.
That's
It's
fun.
one of my pet perturbs.
perturbances.
And so, like, a pet is something you
Perturbances.
love. This is my favorite
Thing
that
I
annoys
love.
me.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah. Oh, my little annoying
Oh, my
friend.
little pet
I love
that I
it.
love to. Yeah,
My little annoying.
that's good.
We're gonna go for a walk.
Yeah, you hungry? Oh,
Well, people like, just like Dan's story, like they hate him, but they love talking. Like it's a love hate. Like, oh, I hate that so much, but like, I'm glad someone's doing it so I can talk
So I
about
can
it.
be angry
so I
about
can be
something.
angry. Yeah, it's
So I
kind
can
of like
have
a
feelings in
little
my cold,
little
dead
pet
heart.
that you like want to kick, but at the same time you're like, here, buddy.
Oh,
my
Here's
God.
a little pet for you.
Throw you
Okay.
a little bone, little pet peevy.
wow,
I don't know about that.
a lot to unpack, but
I mean, what's another word use of pet? I mean,
no, yeah, it's affectionate for sure. But I don't know when would it
personal. It could mean more. It's just something personal. It's one of my personal peeves.
Yeah.
Maybe pet came from like it's just my pet was short for my, right? Because like to have pet name for somebody is like it's
like
my
a nickname.
Yeah.
a nickname, like a pet name. Isn't that a thing? Teacher's pet,
Yeah. Oh yeah.
like
pets a lot.
special, little special peeve.
Totally. Yeah. Yeah. If your name
What
is Peeve, then please please
What does
leave us a
peevish mean?
voicemail.
What?
Isn't peevish? Doesn't peevish mean something?
Sure.
Easily irritated. Oh, it's the same as I'm pretty peeved. Okay.
Okay.
Especially
Easily
by
irritated.
unimportant things.
Oh yeah. This stuff is like really insignificant.
Yeah,
True.
like gum on a plate,
Yeah.
or just like.
Well, no, that's a public safety hazard.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's
Calm
a health
down.
crisis.
So that's a health peeve.
It's a health peeve. Yeah. So do we just dissect the peeves? Because
We
I
don't.
don't.
It's again another one that's not in our.
Peavy didn't even have a head.
Nope. That's right. That's right.
His head fell off.
Our pets' heads are falling off.
All right, I'm gonna look this one up.
Look it up. Look it up. Would you say that this is an idiom? And I'm all for talking about sayings and weird words.
Mm-hmm. Like supercalifragilistic.
No, more like willy-nilly or whippersnapper. But yeah, pet peeve is good. I just don't know if it's an idiom, which is fine.
Yeah.
Which is fine.
Yeah.
But
But
we
I don't-
cover all
yeah.
topics. We've actually, this whole show's been like a science class already.
Sure. And a health class.
Yeah, public safety
Yeah,
concerns.
exactly. When would pet peeve have come up? And
I'll tell you when.
Really, they know.
they know down to the
Hey,
day.
it says, hey, we all got our pet peeves, like people who talk with their mouths full, line cutters, interrupters.
Gum chewers.
But have you ever wondered why these little annoyances are called pet peeves?
Yes.
Faith did.
Faith
We
did. I
do.
Travis
we wonder.
does.
And we're going to do some investigating. And so early 20th century,
We're talking
actually,
1900s.
the word pet can
Yeah.
refer not just to a domesticated animal, but also to something particularly cherished or preferred, as in a pet project.
Oh yeah.
The word pet goes back to the 16th century. So now we're back in Shakespearean times,
1500s. Yep.
when it was primarily used as a noun in the animal sense. Okay. Pet
Animals.
paired ironically with negative concepts like hatred and aversion.
Oh.
So in 1833, a magazine read, his pet hatred had, of course, fallen upon his nearest opponent.
Okay.
Oh, okay. So they also had pet dislikes, pet aversions were in different writings. And then peeve is a particular annoyance, derived from the word peevish,
or petty.
irritating.
Petty.
Ooh, I like that. Tom Petty, very good. And around the turn of the 20th century, peeve came onto the scene, blah, 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 blah. And then soon people started talking about their pet peeves. In a 1916 volume of American Garage and Auto Dealer, certain Ford owners found their pet peeve to be that of cranking a cold motor.
Oh, that's the worst.
I hate
and another
it when,
journal published in praise of Stevenson is so good I've entirely forgotten that rough cut leaves are my little pet peeve. What a catchy
rhyme. That's great. Jeez.
So it has nothing to do with actual pets.
Well, that's interesting.
But I bet your pet has its own pet peeves. Am I right?
You may be. Yeah.
Actually, pets in general would be a pet peeve of
Tom's
mine.
pet peeve.
Tom's
I'm not an animal.
Not too keen on
not a tamed animal. I love wild.
I love it when people say I'm not an animal person, like meaning that they don't like animals, but like the way that they say it is like, wait, so you're a weird mix of an animal / person, which I don't want to get in the weeds about that, but you did say that in the 1500s pet was negative, and then early 1900s it became this positive term of endearment or like cherishing.
Oh, I don't remember. When I read out loud,
you just kind of blank out. That's all right.
I blocked out through most of that.
I did too.
That's kind of what I do when I read. My brain just turns off.
So it's kind of a pet peeve of mine, actually. Go ahead.
People interrupt.
I would say that explanation is as clear as mud. So pet peeve.
Nailed it.
We can move on, gentlemen. That's good.
Put that one in your
pipe
and smoke it.
Well, I didn't. Okay. Yep. Put it in your pipe and smoke it, ladies and gentlemen. You heard it here first.
Yeah. Yep. Wow. There's so many deviations and little bunny trails that we can go on.
We could talk about pet. We could have a whole podcast.
Speaking of pets and bunny trails, I mean, where did bunny trails come from?
Well, in the forest, when bunnies travel, they're like
they leave footprints.
They're like little highways.
Lots of animals make trails.
Exactly. Think of the I-5, but in terms of rabbits.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. A bunny highway, as they say.
Right.
Okay. So, wow, Faith. Thanks. Hey, thanks so much for throwing some idioms and sayings our way that we knew nothing about.
And now we know everything.
Now we know
too much, I think.
Exactly. Right. Now I know too much about Tom and his gum chewing habits.
And I can't wait to eat chips with you. So it's
and gum. Here's what Tom's gonna do.
Yeah, it'll be soft because I'll have the gum in my mouth to silence the crunch.
Oh, it'll be gum like is gonna be all the.
It'll be a nice combo, like a silent.
Just thinking
absorbing
about that makes
the crunch.
Me sick.
I'm sorry.
Hey, don't be sorry. Just do better.
You know, I grew up kind of like Elf, kind of like probably picking.
That's what I thought.
Gum off of stairs and steps, looking for.
You're one step away from that.
And Tom, that's why you're on regular medication.
Yeah.
You shouldn't eat gum that you just find, bro.
Even if it's
colorful. Okay. I'm sorry. Usually in nature, things that are colorful are bright.
I'm learning that.
Poison.
Leaves of 3, let them be.
Well,
gum under the table. Never.
You're not able.
You're not able. Oh yeah.
Red on yellow. Pink sky. Take
in the morning.
Sailors take warning. Yep.
There you go.
Oh man,
we've just made a couple idioms ourselves, I think.
Wow! If you stuck with us this far, this has been a fun ride.
God bless your soul.
Yeah, I think the best thing would be to before you watch or listen to this, afterwards take a cold shower, but before maybe chug like a 20-ounce Red Bull. And
you can't tell someone at the end of the show what they should do at the beginning. They're like, oh,
go back and listen to this one.
Here's
but
Yeah.
Next time, for your second listen, I'm sure people listen to these multiple times. Oh, what did I miss about the...
I mean, you've got a whole week to wait for the next one. What are you going to do in all that
I'm
free
sure
time?
people
That's true.
listen to these multiple times on repeat.
I'm sure. Yeah.
I don't even know where we went, but Reginald, if you're out there, thank you.
Yeah, it was enlightening. I learned a lot about cricket.
Yeah, maybe we could play one day.
I'd love that.
Yeah.
I'm sure he would too.
What a fun name Jiminy is. Is it like short for Jimmy? Jiminy Cricket.
Yeah, it might be a weird.
I think it's Jim and Johnny.
Jeremy.
It's Jim and Johnny, and the guy got like, oh, Jim and Johnny. Jiminy, and he didn't know which one was right, and he's like, yeah, no, that's my name, Jiminy.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, wow, I got it right.
What a nice guy trying to
Jeremy.
save.
Gemini. Yeah.
Man, language.
It's fun.
Words.
Who knows how they're formed, am I right?
That's what we're here to find out, gentlemen. All right, well, that wraps
up
up episode 20. Is it 4?
Is it?
I probably.
You could probably split this into 2 and just get a twofer.
That's
we
true.
could do like a white album out of this one.
Okay, yeah. I'd love to see what you edit out of this.
All those hot takes of just good gems.
Hot takes and hot toddies.
We needed a little deleted file too down the road where it's just stuff that didn't make it, like that Lost episode when you never push record.
Yeah, that'd be a fun.
How often should we bring that up?
Deleted scene.
Right.
Probably once every episode.
Yeah, I would definitely will.
The Lost episode.
It was our best, I swear.
I think it was the best one.
I think I just laughed the whole time, so that's
fun.
all that's edited out. Just put a laugh track in for me.
And that's what you listeners want, is just to hear Daniel laugh. I know it gets me up in the morning.
How does
Dan's laugh?
I always wondered how Reginald would laugh.
Oh, yeah. Is he there?
It's a kind of a high whinny, if I recall.
Okay.
Oh, like a pony.
Like a poo.
Oh, man.
Very much like
listeners, thanks for sticking with us. And good night. And tune in to get more knowledge.
Next time around.
Godspeed.
Godspeed, all of you.